This is Hervé Seni from GuitarGearGeek.com. I'm starting a series of videos on how to build a guitar kit the right way. Building a kit is not only cheap, but it's also the best way to construct a unique guitar and make it better than an instrument from an established brand. If you have ever checked inside a guitar, you know what I'm talking about. An electric guitar, especially a solid body type, is quite easily achievable and require limited knowledge in electronic and woodworking. If you know how to use a screwdriver and if you are willing to take an hour to learn how to solder and how to use a spray can properly, you can build your own Gibson or Fender or whatever type of guitar you might dream of and amend it with wiring options that none of those guitars have for a fraction of the price. In other words, don't buy guitars, make your own. We are just paying the brand name and $50 of equipment. I have built all the guitar I'm using, and I own 18 of them, I guess. And I don't think they cost me the price of a Les Paul. I'm going to make an SG guitar kit. Here is the kit I bought at AliExpress. As you can see, I paid $159 for it, shipping included. It was the cheapest SG kit I could find on AliExpress at that time. Two small parts are missing from the kit. The small pick guard located between the neck pickup and the neck and the selector plate. I opened the claim at AliExpress and the seller won't get paid until I get them. The only problem is I have to wait an extra 6 weeks to get them and to finish the guitar. I can still make the small pick guard, but still I'm pissed that the kit is incomplete. It's like buying an unfinished puzzle. I also didn't like the seller's reaction to try not to ship them and to force me to cancel the dispute before he finally accepted to send them. This is a bad attitude. I won't make business with him again. On the good side, before ordering the kit, I asked him in PM to make a real Gibson head shape, and he did. I don't like the shovel neck, and I didn't feel to make it. I only have a jigsaw, and the outcome wouldn't have been too good. Here are all the parts I received in the kit. So I'm going to show you everything included in the kit and list what I'm going to keep to build this guitar, and also my own parts I'm going to use because I plan to make this guitar for me, and since the wood parts are really good, I intend to make a really good guitar. So I'm going to replace the part and explain why. So the body, as you can see, is looking pretty good. The neck also, so of course I'm going to keep them. This is the base of the guitar. Then I'm not going to keep the tuners because I'm going to install a vibrato. So they are good if you are using a fixed bridge, but for a vibrato you need locking tuners. So this is a crap you get into every kit, so it's not usable. Same for this. This is a pneumatic bridge, so I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to keep it because I have other projects. I'm going to use those 4 knobs. I'm not going to use the pickups, and inside this is the original nut, and I'm going to replace it with a nut from Graftech if I'm able to easily reduce the height of it, because it's a little bit higher and I don't want to have to dig into the nut. So if I can't, I'm going to use the original one, otherwise I'm going to use this one. So let's put it aside, and that's about it. Oh yeah, this is the pick guard, the back one, this one here, and the one from the neck here. And here is the electronic. So for the electronic, I'm only going to keep the selector and the output jack. The rest it's okay, but I'm going to make an advanced Jimmy Page wiring. So Jimmy Page wiring is already advanced, but I want to do it. I want to go even further, so I'm going to cover that later in other videos. Those are the screws, and finally strings that I'm not going to use either. So here are the parts I ordered to make this guitar just fantastic. For the tuners, I'm going to use those Planet Waves tuners, which are just fantastic. And I'm going to install a Stats Bar vibrato, which is the only vibrato you can find to install on guitar with 2 pneumatic bridge, and it works fantastic. I already installed one on another kit I made, and it's really good, really easy to install, and it stays in tune perfectly, even in a floating position. So that's it. And finally, the pickups, I'm going to use Entwistle pickup. They are, I didn't open them yet, but they are pretty good. They are vintage pickup made by Entwistle, the famous guy from England, and that's all there is to it. This video is going to be the first part of the project. I am going to glue the set neck and paint the guitar using a dark brown nitrocellulose guitar lacquer from Dartford's. This one. Sadly, I had a hard time recording the video while talking and working at the same time. The job I did was good, but the videos recorded were unusable. So for this first video, I'm going to use pics that I took at the same time. For the coming videos, I'll shoot without talking and do a voiceover later. I took no pic when I glued the setting neck, sadly. Here is the result after 24 hours of drying. The strange aspects below the neck is caused by the difference of wood. It will be covered by the missing pig horn, so it doesn't matter. I added some wood pulp to make the level even, but it was not necessary. I used the wood pulp in the first place to reduce the nut slot in the neck to fit the Graftec graphite nut better. Since I had it, I corrected some small dents in the guitar with it. Before painting the guitar, I modified the electronic routing to install the 2 toggle switches I need for my advanced wiring. To know exactly where I should locate them, I installed the wiring harness to decide where they fit better. I started to remove some wood using a regular cutter, and I finished the job using the sanding paper grinding wheel tool from the Dremel. This is probably the most valuable weapon there is for building guitar kit and modifying guitars. Of course, a router would have done a much better job in seconds, but this is not the kind of machine you can use in an apartment too often. I protected the fingerboard and the inlays using masking tape. Here is how the guitar looks like right after the first coat of paint. When the paint is dry, you have to sand the guitar using a light sanding paper. I used a 600 grit paper. It is intended to give a smooth finish to the paint before applying the next coat. If you do it well, this is the last time you'd have to sand the guitar. This is how the guitar looks right after the second and final coat of paint. This is how the guitar appears after 48 hours of drying. It doesn't look as red in reality. Nevertheless, it's starting to look good despite the project is far from being finished. In the next video, I'm going to cover how to make and paste a water transfer logo and how to apply the finishing coat of nitrocellulose satin varnish. I apologize once again for the lack of quality images. It was impossible to englue the neck just to make a better video. I learned my lesson the hard way. Next video is going to feature live content only. Thanks for watching.